Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of Purrfect Date with me, Rafji. So, where we left off, we found out that we are turning into a cat on this crazy island, and we have to help the original 5 cats that we tagged, or that we, I guess, found, in finding a whole bunch of other cats that are just disappearing. So yeah, let us continue on. We made it back to our tent, and we're just going to be getting ready for work, it looks like. After a rather painful journey, I am very grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalog beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Popper programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. Are you sure it is wise to trust everyone? Anyone? What on earth does that mean? That's a good question. Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalog has no record of them. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. It doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Ah, Elliot, good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday. I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry. It's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't much mind what hours you keep. Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? He's looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and I tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, Elliot? Oh gosh. Oh no, sir. I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. Just teasing. We ought to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He goes to the tall metal cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool and begins cleaning and tending to my wounds while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how best to carve up your time. Of course, you are primarily here to carry your job as my research assistant. However, try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. Full understanding of their behavior is crucial to our research. There's plenty to see and do, however. You must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. So I do have stats, so I do have rest, romance, research, and recon. That's the spirit. So there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I'll be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I am exhausted. I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop down on my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's the reports that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will I just turn into a cat? I decide that's not an option and resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write my own journal before I fall asleep. The first morning of waking on the island, I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight to the lab research, or maybe I would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-to-one basis. Okay, so I guess we have to start knowing our cats. What should I do today? Romance, research, or recon? Oh, I have no idea. Let's romance. Now, who do I romance? Oh, I can romance McMurphy or Snooty Booty. I'm thinking we're gonna do some Snooty Booty. Meow. I'm splayed out like a starfish on the beach in my bathing clothes. It's a swelteringly hot day, and I find it hard to concentrate on my work. So here I am. I let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as I lay back on the sand. I hear a long, loud sigh coming from somewhere nearby, and I sit up to see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in response, under the shade of a palm tree, is looking about her with a concerned expression, one that I've never really seen a cat make before. I go over to her to see if I can help with something. Are you okay, Snooty Booty? She lets out another long, wistful sigh. To be quite frank with you, human, no, I am not okay. I cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there is something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It is quite the predicament. Alright, what do you want me to fetch for you? Do you want me to fetch it for you? Oh, would you really be so kind, human? I would be very grateful. Sure, it's no problem. We can't have you putting that delicate skin of yours at risk, can we? Snooty Booty looks grave. Indeed not. Skincare must come above all else, don't you know? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It really is quite aging. One must also never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island. Oh, I know. Believe me. How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly. Really? That's sweet of you. Of course, you really are a precious thing. I do so hope you are finding your time here pleasant. Don't worry about me, Snooty Booty. I'm fine. Now, what was it you'd like me to get for you? Well, before I tell you, I must ask that you don't inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item. It is very dear to me, you see, and one of the few luxuries I have all to myself. Of course, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be. I do hope so, human. You see, along the beach, just south of here, there is a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It is quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy. Snooty Booty looks as if she's lost in a wonderful dream. Sounds lovely? It is! I like to drink coconut water as often as I can, as it is so good for the skin and waistline. But the less civilized denizens of the island keep knocking the coconuts down before they're fully matured. Fortunately, no one seems to have discovered this particular tree yet. Well, okay, Snooty Booty. I'll try to find some coconuts for you. I'll be back soon. You have my thanks, human. I've been walking for a bit longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me, although this one does seem to have more coconuts than the others. I decide to take a chance and bundle up as many as I can. As many as I can carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. By the time I get back to Snooty Booty, I'm faint from exertion, not to mention walking so far in the sun. I fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Here you go, Boots. She eyes the pile with a distinct air of disapproval. I only needed one coconut, human. Oh. These are far too many. Well, I do apologize, madame. Tell me you didn't plunder the tree. No, there are plenty on the ground already, so... Oh well, that's a small mercy. At least you didn't hack them down. Hack them down? With what? Well, your hands are rather large and leathery. Snooty Booty, I did not use my hands for deforestation. Well, I'm sure you did your very best, although I don't really know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts. You're welcome, I'm sure. I look down at the pile of coconuts, and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on the island to plunder them. What do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps wildlife away from the island? Do you mean the magnetic barrier? Magnetic barrier? Oh, do keep up, human. I thought you were meant to be a scientist. I realize she must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island. Now be a dear and crack one open for me. With my enormous hands? Well, you could try, I suppose. I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. On second thoughts, I'll be right back with a screwdriver. Oh, what? Snooty Booty looks horrified. It's a sharp metal tool that bores into things. What on earth do you need one of those for? So that I can make a hole to get the water out of the coconut? How else would you propose I do it? Well, look around you, dear. Look at nature's bounties. What about that? Snooty gestures with a limp paw at a shard of rock nearby. Snoots, how do you usually get the water of the coconut when there isn't a human around? Well, the exuberant Kibble simply loves to break things. Had you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him, don't you know? Far better than one of your screwball dribbers, don't you think? I reach over and pick up the rock. It does look like it could actually do the job. Okay, let's give it a try. Here it goes. Holding the coconut in a palm leaf, I gently tap the shell a few times with the stone before finally whacking it. It cracks open surprisingly easily, and the water drains into the leaf. There now, see how nature provides, human? Yep, again, you're welcome. Quite. Snooty Booty stretches her neck and then upper body towards the leaf. She sticks her tongue out as far as it can go before raising her big eyes to me. I can't quite seem to... I suddenly realize what she's getting at. Oh my god. Let me help you, Snooty Booty. I let her struggle for a moment or two before I begin to feel a little bit like a child pulling the wings off a fly. She can't help the way she is. You seem to be struggling a little, Boots. Well, you've placed my libation slightly out of my reach. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to help? Bring it a little closer, perhaps? Well, of course I would, human. Are you being deliberately obtuse? I would very much like to help you, Snoots, but you make it rather difficult. How? I don't understand. I'm being perfectly clear in my instruction. You see, I am under a spell. It's a very powerful one which prevents me from following any instruction unless accompanied by some magic words. Oh, would you care to enlighten me? Well, it would go something like this. Please, human, would you please mind passing me my libation? Thank you very much. There is a pause during which I'm really not sure what Snooty Booty is thinking. Suddenly, the Sphinx erupts into pearls of laughter. or peals of laughter.
I seem to have forgotten my manners. Please do be so kind, human. I would be most obliged.
Oh, go on then.
I nudge the leaf closer to her and she delicately laps at it. I truly am indebted. Many thanks.
That looks delicious. Snooty agrees without taking a break. You know, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work.
I am sure it was.
She's still lapping at the water.
Oh, my throat's a bit scratchy, especially in this heat.
Snooty Booty finally comes up for air.
Quite. That's the beauty of the coconut, you see. So hydrating, and most palatable too. You really ought to try it sometime.
I look down at the now dry palm leaf.
Yes, that's a good idea, Boots. And the very best thing after drinking coconut water is to curl up and have a nap, you know. Beauty sleep is most important.
Oh, is that so?
Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now?
Well... Snooty Booty yawns and closes her eyes. I suppose I do. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply.
Well, that was an interaction.
Oh, what else can I do today? I can romance again. I can research, or I can recon. I'll probably do a little bit of research. Gotta get that antidote going, don't you know? Oh. Which task should I research? Don't know. 5, 12, and 16. Chapter 2. Time to round up some rowdy kitties. Cat collection. You know what? Yeah, let's round up some rowdy kitties. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect. Like shooting fish in a barrel. I double-check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach feeling like the child catcher. I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. At first, I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want it to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on, then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, place her gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey, matey, shall we go to the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on either side of the body, ready to pick him up. He doesn't look happy about it, growls a warning at me. Hey, mister. It's going to be okay. We're just going to have a little trip, all right? As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. Oh, no. I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scampers off into the distance. I look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. Oh, that was it for the research? Okay. We will do a recon next, and probably one more romance. Okay, let's recon. Let's do the security guard. We're gonna be interviewing staff. Security guard might be a good lead. I've been staring at the back of his head for a long time now. Too long. I'm starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in that chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard for a place like this? As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off it, picking up supply deliveries, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure. I wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He doesn't seem to be interested, regardless. I decide it's time to get to know this island bouncer, and go to join him at the dock. I sit next to Zane, me on the sand, him in that chair. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short-sleeved shirt allows me to notice for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. I never truly thought of him as security in the bodyguard sense, but now squinting at him sideways, trying not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hey Zane, how are you? Are you trying to start a conversation? He says without looking up from his crossword puzzle. Oh, I suppose I am, yes. I don't get to chat to humans much in my job. Research Assistant 125. He rolls the words out like he's reading them. Oh yes, I guess that's me. So what does the number stand for anyhow? You don't know? He asks monotonely, eyes still glued to his crossword puzzle. No, actually, to be honest, Zane, I don't know much at all. There's a definite lack of intel sharing on this project. Which project would that be? This one? This whole research project that's going on? Is there more than one? Depends who you ask. I was just asking you, really. I don't understand your job. I don't need to. I don't care about things I don't need to. What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time. You really want to talk, don't you? Well, there's not much else to do here. Besides, I'm interested in it. Aren't you? My interests consist of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming. When's it coming? You get it delivered? Comes with the mail. He's back to not looking at me again. The mail? You mean the parcels? And the letters. Yeah. The letters. Who would go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here when we have email? I laugh, but Zane looks very serious. It's safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With email, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber terrorists. I get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right? Not if I'm around. And besides, who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope? There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my visual, socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill it. Need any help with the crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. This line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. I decide to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, it can't make things more awkward than they already are. Zane, have you ever noticed anything strange going on here? Cats behaving weirdly? Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes locking straight on mine, unwavering and hard. No. Have you? Well, not exactly, but... He is looking at me properly for the first time since we met. I have definitely captured his attention, but I'm too nervous to follow through. I'm just being silly. The lack of human company can get to me, gives me daft ideas. Such as? He's still staring at me, as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes, when I'm out tagging, I feel like they're playing games on me, like children, hide and seek, that kind of thing. Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for. Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way? They know when to stay out of the sun. They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink. The moment, if there was one, is over. If there was one. I decide maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk to about my concerns. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp. I stand up and brush the sand off me. What's a 5-letter word for solitude? Alone? Zane silently scribbles in his book as I leave. Wow, that was an interesting interaction, to say the least. And the last one, I should probably do romance. Oh, you're looking a little bit tired. You only have 1 heart remaining. If you choose to continue, it would have negative consequences. You can restore hearts by choosing. Okay, choose again. Okay, well, I guess we're going to call it there for today's video then, because we're going to be resting. So, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I hope to see you next time, where we'll continue on our adventure, maybe. As always, please continue watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye!